You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and something mounted of the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Santa Lucia. So y'all, before we jump into it, I just want to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Great choice, Karina. I don't get to see forests very often. I think I'm gonna join the forest cleanup crew. Is there anything I can do without bugs? I hate mosquitoes. I bet you can take the girly jobs with the cabin crew. As for me, I think I want to join the beach crew. It sounds like everyone's already made up their mind. That's perfect. Zach? Yes? Unfortunately, I have to keep an eye on you to make sure you earn your credit. But don't worry, it means you get to work with me on trail management. I wanted to... Zach's words fade into an inaudible whisper. My eyes wide when I see a familiar hand fall on the dragon's shoulder. Do you always have to be so overbearing, Chris? Gah! I don't know how you got this job since you couldn't read a room to save your life. What do you mean? It's obvious the kid wants to work with someone he knows. But we know each other now, don't we? Can he come with me? No, I already signed up for trail management. And he kinda needs to be with me. I won't lie, I think I'd rather spend time around anyone other than Chris on this trip. Hey, Zach. Yeah? Would you like me to stick around for this? I would really appreciate that. It's your thing. I have to stop my mouth from dropping yet again. Russell turns to address Chris. Good news, old friend. Like it or not, I'm joining the charade. But you're not a mentor! You're making my Kuai uncomfortable. I'll help him clean up that stupid trail if it makes him feel better. You really like to complicate my job, don't you? You bet. Just pretend I'm not here or something. That suits you pretty damn well. Oh boy, at this point I think I'm done getting involved. I did my part after all. When I turn around to check on the rest of the group, I notice they're all making their way for the huge crowd. Wait up, guys! I sprint to catch up with them. Well, looks like I've got a decision to make. I don't want to be in a crew without one of my friends, so which one am I going to join? Nate. Yeah. As annoying as cleaning a forest sounds, joining up with Nate seems like the most logical way to spend the service trip. Plus, if there's anything Nate can't do, it's be boring. I'm able to join the forest crew pretty easily, and soon I'm welcomed by Nate's cheerful smile. Every time I see it, I can't help but feel a tingle in my stomach. The park rangers lead us down a trail deeper into the forest. They give us brief instructions on what we're supposed to do, which is finding and pulling specific types of weeds. The rangers leave us at a particularly lush section of the forest. Nate, I pair up as everyone starts to spread out in order to cover as much ground as possible. I'm not sure how much time has passed by now, but I do know one thing. My back is killing me! Damn weeds, why do the roots have to be so deep and strong? I take a deep breath and put my hands on my lower back. You know, I didn't realize it until now, but the forest is pretty noisy. Not a bad kind, though. It's more peaceful. It reminds me of the forests back home. It smells pretty good here, too. I snap out of my reverie and bend down once more to pull out the rest of the stupid weed. I hate to whine, but this is what I'd call back-breaking work. With a long, firm pull, I finally managed to tear the sucker out and stuff it in my garbage bag. I attempt to straighten up, but a painful crink in my back stops me cold. Ow, 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 ow! Yeesh, I'm not going to be able to walk back after this, am I? I take another look around me. This path would be perfect for running, actually. I don't see me coming back here often, though. One second, y'all. It is water time. Alright, y'all, and we are back. Let's do it. Alright. 4 hours is a long drive, especially if we don't have a car. Lost in my thoughts, my eyes eventually fall on Nate. The fox happens to be staring at me with a bemused look on his face. What's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that? And how long have you been doing that? His smile grows wider as he chuckles. Someone looks like they'd rather be anywhere but here. Can't really argue with that. It makes me feel so lazy, though. I know Carlos would have a few choice words for me right now if he were here. Darling, the reason you're struggling so much is because you're not doing it the right way. I raise an eyebrow at him. There's a right way to bend over? Of course there is. Let me show you. He leaves his bag on the ground and walks over to me. The problem is you're bending your back. I know it feels natural, but if you keep doing that, you're going to end up with some really bad back issues when you're older. He demonstrates what I'm doing wrong by bending his back down in the most exaggerated way possible. He goes so far as to put his hands on the ground to fully arch his back, which ends up leaving me with a nice view of his ass. When I notice I'm staring, I quickly look the other way. Bad bit, bad! Oblivious to my wandering eyes, Nate straightens back up with a face flushed red. Huh. See what I mean? It might not hurt at first, but it really wears you down quickly if you keep it up. Instead, he proceeds to squat down, pulling out a weed in front of him. You need to use your legs. What? He takes the bag from my hands and stuffs the weed in it. Easy, right? I stare at him for a brief moment. I feel really stupid right now. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Seriously, Rivers, did you leave your brain back at the dorms? Don't worry about it. I'm sure you would have figured it out on your own anyway. I'm just facilitating the process. Thanks for showing me. That'll help a lot. Nate nods his head and returns back to his bag. Still, I don't really see the point in all this. Is pulling a couple weeds really going to do much? There's so many of them. I swear, every time I pull one out, another two pop up. It's almost like a freaky underground hydra or something. There's a reason we're doing this besides cleaning up. Oh? He chuckles with me. Or is it at me? Well, the plants we're pulling aren't bad per se. In their own ecosystem, they'd be perfectly fine. Here, though, they're called an invasive species for a reason. He illustrates his explanation by pulling out another weed and showing it to me. This one here's called an English ivy, and it's not originally from around here. It was introduced here somehow, and over time it began to multiply out of control without the natural predators of its home. So, if nobody deals with it, do you know what happens? I think I recall watching a video about this in biology class. I wasn't really paying much attention to it, but I think I can remember some things. They'll take over everything, right? Nate claps his hands together in delight. Bingo! Didn't think I'd get it right. Thanks, high school biology. By overgrowing, they rob all the other plants of their nutrients. Eventually, this results in them changing the entire ecosystem to suit their needs. Meaning they kick out the native flora, right? I think I'm starting to get it. Exactly. Nate's really enjoying his lesson he's giving me. I think I am too. He's surprisingly good at explaining things in a language I can understand. Biology wasn't a very strong subject for me. I wonder how he knows all this, though. Have you ever seen star thistles? This is the yellow things, right? Nate nods his head. They're another type of invasive weed. They used to grow everywhere back home. It was a real pain to take care of them. Aw, and here I thought they looked really pretty. Nate giggles at my comment. That's kinda cute, actually. I blush in response. Looking away if he doesn't see. Not that I don't mind him calling me cute. So, why did you learn so much about plants? He doesn't respond immediately. Instead, I see him wrapping his hand around the stem of another weed. Second now. Water time. Oh, that's good. He pulls it out swiftly using the motion he demonstrated to me earlier. I grew up on an orchard. Had to deal with a lot of infestations like this. That's how I learned to recognize them. He shrugs his shoulders. Everything you learn eventually comes back to help you in some way, huh? He sounds somewhat bitter, almost as if he's remembering something he'd rather forget. I guess. Shit, I didn't expect this to be something he'd be sensitive about. I should probably switch topics. Ah! Nate recoils in horror. Are you okay? What happened? The fox is breathing hard. Is he having a panic attack? There was this giant spider on my hand. It freaked the hell out of me. Nate's reaction leaves me at a loss for words. So he's afraid of spiders, huh? I get closer and look down at the ground. Before long, I notice something crawling on a blade of grass. I squat down to examine it further. Oh, it's so small! Looks actually kind of cute. Was it really this that scared him half to death? I rip out the blade of grass, take it a fair distance away, and then put it back down on the ground. There you go, little one. I return to Nate, who seems to be cooling down. I took care of it, don't worry. He looks off to the side, clearly trying to avoid eye contact. Speaking of cute. Thanks a lot, Ben. I hate spiders. Always have. They creep me out really bad. By the time I saw this one, it was already on me. He speaks in a soft voice, almost as if he's ashamed of what just happened. Can't believe him. It's not really something you want others to see. It's alright, man. A lot of people have that phobia, and they'd all react the same way as you did. You're not scared of them. I never really thought about it. Not really, but I know I'm weird like that. I lend him a hand and help him get back onto his feet. We both end up laughing off the incident as a funny story to share with the others down the line. Nate's a really fun person to hang out with when you get to know him. I'm glad I met him. We continue working for what feels like an eternity. I check my phone regularly, but eventually stop because it gets too demoralizing. Around 6:30 p.m., though, the Rangers call us all back to regroup. They thank us for our service and we're led back to the main cabin, where we meet up with our mentorship groups again. We don't spend long catching up before we're all invited back into the dining hall for dinner around 7. Like before, we sit together near one of the back corners. This time, though. And I was like, don't actually break a leg. We've got an extra member. She was fine, of course. Just a little scrape. Sounds like the drama program is really interesting. It's fabulous, darling. You should totally take a class. Everyone's got a voice for the stage if they train it. I'm not much of a singer. He sure seems to be having an easier time opening up lately. I wonder what happened. Was it something I did? I hope so. You're pretty chill, Zach. Thanks. Because, this is kind of unfair. Did everyone get what they ordered? Yep, the salad is delicious. Yes, I did. Chris, you know you're not working at the cafe today, right? I know, I just want to make sure everyone's having a good time is all. Take a seat, dude, relax. You had just as long of a day as the rest of us. I suppose. I watch as he slips right past Zach. In that moment, the dragon seems to withdraw into himself, almost as if he's trying to hide from the Aussie. Yeesh, I know he had a bad relationship with his mentor, but is he like this with everyone in the program? That's when I realized someone I expected to see alongside Chris isn't here. Where's Russell? So, how did work go for everybody? Chris sits down and immediately asks us about our day without taking a single bite of his dinner. Second, y'all. Water time. It went amazing! The forest here's so beautiful. I'm glad I had a chance to see it. It went well for me, too. I actually got to spend some quality time with my roommate. We bonded today a lot better than we were on campus. I'll have to thank my boyfriend later. He's the one who gave me advice on how to handle her. Great, just the guy I wanted to hear about right now. I can see that gecko's smarmy smile. Those stupid glasses. And how about you two? Chris turns to address Brian and Carlos, who are sitting opposite each other on the other end of the table. The cabins were warm. Yeah, the temperature was a lot hotter than I expected, too. I can't imagine how hot it was indoors. That's why you should have been on the beach, man. It's perfect weather to take off your shirt and feel the ocean breeze in your fur. I'm fine with where I work today. I know, just saying. His eyes eventually fall on me. And you, Ben? I put my fork down and notice the spike of annoyance I feel. Normally I just brush this stuff off, but for some reason lately everything's been getting on my nerves. Do we really have to talk about this right now? I'm trying to eat my dinner. Oh! Somebody sounds tired. What? Don't worry, that's normal. At the end of the service trip, most students prefer to go right to bed instead of joining the bonfire gathering. Would you like your bunk assignment, Ben? No, I just... Now that he mentions it, I am pretty tired. I'll think about it. No problem, mate. I can't help but stare down at my plate. That's right, we've got this weird communal sleeping quarter we're using. Reminds me of those huge dormitories you see in army movies. I can hear the collective snoring already. And you, Zach, what did you think of the service trip? Huh? Unsurprisingly, the dragon bristles at being called on to share. It was alright, I guess. Chris, we need your help. Chris, we need your help. Looking up, I see the rabbit mentor from the bus standing behind Chris. Really? What for? We need help setting up the bonfire. You said you were part of the scouts, right? I am. I've been with them since I was 7 years old. You can count on me, mate. Without even having touched his food, the Aussie stands up and follows the rabbit out of the dining hall. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!